Hey everybody, this is Miss Faina. Today we're going to be multiplying polynomials, and this is going to be day 1. So our first example, we have a monomial times a binomial. A monomial is one term, so that is going to be the 2x, and the binomial is the x minus 8, that is 2 terms. So we're going to use the area model to help us multiply. It's basically just a visual way to multiply. So I'm going to take that monomial and I'm going to put it to the side. And I'm going to split up that x minus 8 and I'm going to put x in the first box and negative 8 in the second box. So when we do this, we're going to multiply the coefficients like normal. And remember, if we're multiplying variables of the same base, we add exponents. And I'm going to abbreviate exponents because I ran out of space. Okay, so I have 2x, and remember that x is to the first, times x over here to the first. So I multiply 2 times the 1, which is 2. X times x, I add 1 plus 1, which is x squared. Now I take the 2 and I multiply it by the negative 8. So 2x times negative 8, well 2 times negative 8 is a negative 16. And there's no other variables, so it's just negative 16x. So then that's really it for this one. So my answer would be 2x squared minus 16x. Okay, now at the bottom it says blank and blank are equivalent expressions. Well, what we started with, the 2x times x minus 8, and our final answer, 2x squared minus 16x, are equivalent expressions. Okay, equivalent just means something that's equal to. So I want you to take a second, pause the video, and try example 2 on your own. So hopefully you paused it. Now we're going to work out example 2. Again, another monomial times a binomial. So I'm going to take this first term of 2x and I'm going to write it on the side. And I'm going to take my second term, or terms, and split them up. I have x minus 3, so x and negative 3. And I'm going to multiply. Remember, the x's have an exponent of 1, and this x on top has a coefficient of 1. So I multiply 2 times 1, and I get 2. X times x, I get x squared. Then I multiply 2x times a negative 3. Well, 2 times negative 3 is a negative 6. And then I just attach the x to it. So my final answer for this one is 2x squared minus 6x. And again, blank and blank are equivalent expressions. That's going to be the expression we started with, 2x times x minus 3. And our final answer, 2x squared minus 6x. Again, equivalent just means they're equal to. Okay, moving on. Now I have a monomial, again, one term, times a trinomial. Trinomial, tri means 3. Okay, so I'm going to take my monomial and put it off to the side, negative 3x squared. And then I'm going to split up the trinomial into each part of the box. So I have 5x squared plus 4x minus 2. And now I'm just going to multiply. So I have negative 3 times 5. I get a negative 15. X squared times x squared, again I add my exponent, so 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, now I'm going to take negative 3 x squared and multiply it by 4x. Remember, the 4x has an exponent of 1, so negative 3 times 4 is a negative 12. X squared times x to the first, I add 2 plus 1, I get 3, so I get x cubed. And then I take negative 3x squared times negative 2. Well, negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6x x squared. Okay, and that's all for multiplying because all my boxes are filled in. So I am going to write my answer. So I have a negative 15x to the fourth minus 12x to the third plus 6x squared. And that's my final answer. Okay, and again, blank and blank are equivalent expressions. The expression I started with, a negative 3x squared times 5x squared plus 4x minus 2, and a negative 15x to the fourth minus 12x cubed plus 3x squared are equivalent expressions. Okay, so I want you to take a second, pause the video, and try example 4 on your own. Okay, so I'm hoping you paused it and you tried it, so let's go over it. So another monomial times a trinomial. So I'm going to put my monomial on the side of my rectangle, and I'm going to split up the trinomial to the 3 different parts. So I take the first term, which is 4x squared, the second term, which is a positive 3x, and then the last term, which is a negative 5. And now I'm going to multiply coefficients, add exponents. So 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x squared, 2 plus 2 is 4. So I get x to the fourth. Okay, moving on to my second term, I have 2 times 3, which is 6. X squared times x to the first, I add 2 plus 1. I get x cubed. Okay, I multiply 2 times negative 5, I get a negative 10, and then I just bring that x squared with it because it does not have a variable to multiply with. So my final answer would be 8x to the fourth, and that was a positive 6x, so a plus 6x cubed minus 10x squared. So that would be my final answer. And to fill in the last question, blank and blank are equivalent expressions. Again, it's what we started with, the 2x squared times 4x squared plus 3x minus 5, and 8x to the fourth times 6x cubed minus, oops, I said times, I messed up there, hello. There we go. So 8x to the fourth plus 6x cubed minus 10x squared. Okay, now I do want to add one additional question that is not on here. Okay, so I'm adding a question for you to practice. I want to show you what something looks like if we have multiple variables. So let me switch my pen color over. So if I had 3x squared y, and I'm going to multiply it times 4x to the fourth minus 3xy plus 8y cubed. Okay, so again, I have a monomial times a trinomial. So I need to draw me my rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to split the rectangle into 3 parts as best as I can. There we go. So I am going to take the monomial and write it on the side. 3x squared y, and I'm going to go ahead and put that exponent with the 1. And then I'm going to write my first term of the trinomial in the first box, 4x to the fourth. Then my second term, negative 3x to the first, y to the first. And my third term, 8y cubed. Okay, and it's a positive 8, so I'm going to put a plus sign there. So we're going to multiply coefficients, then the x variables, and then the y variables. Everything is going to be treated individually. So first box, we take 3 times 4 we get 12. X squared times x to the fourth, we add. 4 plus 2 is 6. And there's no y, so the y just tags along. Okay, next, we take 3 times negative 3. We have a negative 9. We have x squared times x to the first. 2 plus 1 is 3, so we have x to the third. We have y to the first times y to the first. We add. 1 plus 1 is y squared. Okay, now we go 3 times 8. That is a positive 24. X squared times, oh, there's no x squared, so I'm just going to write down the x squared. And y to the first times y to the third. 1 plus 3 is 4. And now I just write it out for my answer. So I have 12x to the 6th y minus 9x to the third y squared plus 24x squared y to the fourth. So there's my final answer right there. So I'm hoping this one helps you with some of your homework questions. Okay. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teachers. We're here to help you. Other than that, have a great day, Rangers.